So this next question says, using Python, write a subroutine to help the museum review. Remember, to do a subroutine in Python, we will need to use def, right? If you want to make notes, define function, always remember that. It says, have the identifier count days. That is important because it's different. The font, again, it needs to be written that way. So the subroutine must have the identifier. That means name it. So let's just start off with that because I can get my easy mark in the bag. All right. Def count days. Now I'm not going to do anything yet because I need to read the question. Have the number of days a museum was open in the last month as a parameter. Okay. I'm going to put days open as a parameter. So there we go. Can you see the structure of the questions now? If you look at the video that I did a minute ago versus the video I've just done now, both of them have the subroutine written followed by the parameter that they're going to need. If you want multiple parameters, remember you can, if you have to have multiple parameters in the question, just separate them via a comma. Alright? Now, that, because it's Python, will need your semicolons there. You will also have the lines. Now, get the user to enter the number of visitors to the museum for each of those days. The logic for that basically means if I have 300 days, for each of those days, I am going to need to count if they've had over 200 visitors. There's a key word in that question there, in that third bullet point, that tells me there's going to need to be a specific coding strategy needed. What was it? The two words, yep. For each. Yep. If you see things like keep doing, or until, or repeat, that means you've got to use iteration. Here though, they've told you the loop that you're going to need. So there's going to be iteration here. So keep entering, get the user to enter the number of visitors to the museum for each of those days. So if I've got 300 days, I'm going to need to do this 300 times. What sort of loop uses a count? It is 4. So I know how many days. Now, it says count how many of those days are over 200. Well, let's think about this, because some of you go through and you start coding and then end up scribbling things out. Think about your logic first and get a plan together. Well, I'm going to need something to count how many are over 200. So don't start your iteration yet. Get your count set up. Count equals 0. Because that means I've got something to count how many of those days are over 200. Now I can go into my iteration and I can say for, alright, I in range days open. That's, say for example I've put in 300 there, this loop will run 300 times. Alright, for I in range, that's going to run 300 times. Now, at this point, I'm asking them to get them to enter the number of visitors they've had for each of those days. So all I need to do is go visitors equals input how many visitors. Now, you might argue with me there and say, oh, there's a more efficient way to do that. I understand that, but I'm going to help those that like to separate their code instead of doing it on the one line. So I'm going to do visitors equals int visitors. I'm separating it to help those that need a bit more time with their processing. Don't worry about it. We all code different ways, but I'm just separating it because, especially in an exam, you might struggle to fit it all on one line. That's cool. Now, that's now an integer, because it's an integer, I can say if visitors is greater than 200, count equals count plus 1. So every day that we iterate through, I'm going to ask them again, how many visitors were there? Okay, if that's over 200, I'm going to add 1 to the count. I don't need to end the if. I don't need to end the for. But I do need to do something. What do they want to know? The count. So what I've got to do is return count. Because it said specifically here to return the count. So the way that this works is if this program here said I've got 200 people, this is going to say 200 times, how many visitors did you have? Okay, I'm going to convert it into an integer. Now it's an integer, I can compare the value. If that was not casted, if I forgot to change that, I would not be able to use this operator, this comparative operator. I wouldn't be able to use it because it would still be in a string. But because I converted it to a number, I can check it. It is over 100. I'm going to add 1 to the count. All right. Then return it. Now, if I want to call on it, all right, I need to know total over 200 equals, I'm going to run count days, and I'm going to pass how many days I'm checking. How many days are there in a year? 365. So if I put 365 in, that would check every day of the year. They would have to keep entering how many visitors there were, and then it would tell me how many were over 200. And then when it's returned, that return means that it's now stored into that variable. Whenever I use the word return, it turns this whole function into a value. That's what you need to understand.